Welcome back to another episode of the DPCast. I am Paul.
And I'm Dano von Bruce BSC Holmes.
And we are glad to be back giving you another live episode of our juicy goodness that we give you each and every week.
Yeah, we're back, baby.
Oh, we have missed the fucker of you guys. We have done a lot of stuff in the last 2 weeks off done, haven't we?
Yeah, I tell you what, we've been working on some new segments and stuff, but it feels damn good to do an actual podcast again.
Oh, fuck yeah, it does. Genuine, like, I am... Oh, do you know what? I've had... The people who listen to us quite regular, at least the people around us anyways, have been absolutely begging for us to be back on live. And I was like, oh, that's really heartfelt. Yeah, it really it did touch me. I was like, oh, you know, don't worry about it. We're back live next week. And, oh, do you know what? I feel like lobbing out like a party popper. Dan lobbing freaking pose like... Just a little food party pops.
I tell you what, you were telling me about them. I was like, oh, and my first reaction was, we have listeners.
We have a lot of listeners, baby. Well,
yeah.
I say we go into the one thing we do each and every week.
What's new with you?
So done.
Yeah.
Even though we've seen each other the last couple of weeks, our fans haven't. How about we get them into what's new with you, but at the same time as well as what has been new with you?
What has been new with me? Ooh, well, basically what most of the world has been doing lately. I've been watching Game of Thrones. Yeah. No spoilers here, so we'll just leave it at that. I've been watching Game of Thrones. Anyone who watches it will know it is damn good.
You know
what else have I been doing? Been doing rehearsals.
I'm a part of that. I'm part of that 10% though. Freaking that hasn't watched any of Game of Thrones.
I'm part of that 10%.
Yeah, I'm part of that one. I'm part of that 10%.
Don't worry, I know a few other people who don't watch it either. But
I watch it for reasons though. I watch it for reasons that I'm a bitch for not watching. Like if I watch something in complete harmony, I'll enjoy it in that order. To watch it per week will do my fucking bell ending. And I
tell you what, I'm so glad you're not watching it, Paul, because sometimes I'm a bit late to watching things, and I know if you've watched it first, no matter how hard you try, Paul, no matter how hard you try, you will end up spoiling something. It's like when we watched SummerSlam. I can't remember what happened. I was in work, that's right. I was supposed to be working, but I was in work.
Both of us were working.
Guest came to the desk, and I had to pause the pay-per-view live. While you were over there watching it, happy as Larry, continuing things. So I was 2 minutes behind you. Now then, this was the last match of the night. It was damn good, and it was very exciting. But the customer comes first. You know, employee of the month here. Watching flipping pay-per-views on the shift.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, and I continue watching. All right, okay, I'm about 2 minutes behind Paul now. And my phone starts going nuts. And I was like, I know what he's doing. I know he's telling me exactly what's happened. And I'm not picking up that phone until I finish this match. So, yeah. And when I looked at the thing, what happened? This match is awesome. Brock wins. This, that. See, if I picked that phone up, I would have known what happened before the match finished.
Yeah, but that, right. Yeah. That. Firstly, all the way through the pay-per-view, he was a minute and a half ahead of me. Right? And then on top of that as well, at not one point he stated he was with a customer. So when I sent him this, he was still a minute and a half ahead of me. So when I sent it to him, I was literally still in the point of that. He's already watched the end of this show, and I'm still like, "Oh my God, it's Brock! What? How did he do this?" And then you're like, "I had to rewind it back 2 minutes." Well, fuck it, he's telling me. Fuck it.
I did tell you. I said, "Hang on, Paul. I got to wind it back 2 minutes." Or I'm behind 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure. Don't make me go through my text messages, Paul. Don't make me do.
He's lying to make friends, people. Don't listen to him.
Don't make me go through my text, Paul. Don't make me do it.
Anyways, but you were talking about the rest of your week, Danny boy.
Oh yes, I've also been doing a lot of rehearsing. I'm doing about 3 or 4 different shows. Let's see, how many shows am I doing? I'm doing Hello Hello in November. Any Hello Hello fans out there, come and see me if you like. I'm going to be playing Officer Crabtree. Good morning. And doing a musical review in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what I've been rehearsing most. Doing also an extra in another show. And no, 3. It's 3. 3 shows, 3 different rehearsals. It's good fun. I'm enjoying it. It's good fun.
Dan, you're the only person who could literally be in 3 shows and then forget which ones you're fucking in.
Yeah, fair point, Paul.
Oh, honest to God, I'm convinced if he didn't put in his diary what he was wearing that week, he literally might walk out naked.
Yeah, no, that's not far off, actually, Paul.
Yeah. Oh, Dan,
I call it my
love you
little
for
black
pal.
book of death. My little black
Yeah.
book of death is what I call it. It's like it's got my shifts in there, it's got my rehearsal dates in there, it's got when the shows are, because there's a good chance I forget when they are too. Right, it was this week.
Well, I tell you something else we've been, Dan had been working on in the last 2 weeks. Now, I do want to get onto this a little before we go further into Dan's week here now.
That's pretty
Me
much
and
me,
Dan,
my 2 weeks.
Well, before I go into my week then, because
We don't want to
we
know
did
that,
talk.
Paul.
We
We don't want to know. We don't want to know. Move on.
Go screw
Next
yourself,
segment.
Dan. Oh my God, Dan, go screw yourself. But we did talk about in our the best ofs. Me and Dan did do some live parts. Dan waffled on for a little bit more.
Oh,
and
that's
I
what else
just
I've been doing. Sorry, I've had many complaints about that. Paul has banned me from doing any future opening segments to any future best ofs. I have no excuse.
Dan,
I
at one
thought I was
point you
being
started
hilarious.
asking them about
People
their
didn't
boobs.
feel the same way. Apologies to our listeners for boring your nuts off for... How long did I go on for, Paul? 10 minutes?
8.5 minutes, if I can be correct. And you've had about 7 stop-off points to literally go, now next segment is.
That's true.
What
yeah.
about 10? It's brilliant. But anyways, we did mention in these segments that we would have Will Film Snob reviews on today. We haven't got him on. We've got one of our newer segments to give you today, due to the fact of we've had some complications with running. His internet freaking fell out. Freaking what is a pain in the ass for anybody. If you haven't got internet in your household, that is literally like having NAM in the 21st century. I mean, nothing works. Your computer, your phone, what is the most craziest thing on this earth, literally becomes a brick. Your TVs become worthless. I mean, everything runs through the internet.
You know when you said
So-
his internet fell out?
Yeah.
For some reason, the image that came into my head that Will lives in a Zeppelin.
We can only wish, Dan. We can only wish.
It'd be quite
But-
cool.
We are going to try and get him on in the next 2 or 3 weeks now because Dan's got a couple of... he's got all his plays coming up next week, so we won't be able to get Will on next week, but we're going to try and get him on in the next 2 weeks now. So you're going to see a couple of our newer segments. As I said, Dan has been working on the last 2 weeks. Oh my God, Dan's been working on some great jingles for the Come In podcast that you're going to be holding your juicy goodness of yours. And one of them's going to be called the If Statement. Now, we might have talked about it in a podcast before this, but we finally got up and running. It's going to be straight to your ears in a bit. And on top of that as well, we got something to end the show with, what we haven't mentioned to nobody but one of our 2 little listeners that listen to us regular. So that's going to be fun for somebody to hear. And Dan knows what that is. And don't try and spoil it, Dan. Freaking calling me a spoiler.
Spoil it. You want me to spoil the shit out of this? You want to spoil it? Okay, it's basically a segment called...
I just said, Dan, please don't spoil it. And you just went,
Oh!
and the segment's
You said, I thought you said spoil it.
oh, God damn it, Dan. God damn it.
Oh, okay, sorry, man. Anyway, we won't mention any more of that. We'll just...
No.
I'll cut that bit out. No, Paul will cut that bit out. Or shall we leave it in? Because it's funny.
Oh,
I don't know.
Dan, I bloody love you. Genuine. I honest to God. Anywho's, my week. Literally, my week has been actually quite boring. I wouldn't say boring. Freaking, I've actually done, like, I've been playing Pokemon Go. That's one of the major things I've been doing. But the other aspects is, Johnny's actually been working like SOB. I think over the 2 weeks I've been off, just basically playing Pokemon Go and doing crap of that caliber. I
It
mean,
doesn't count as work, Paul.
hey, I like to call it work, alright? Freaking, it pays the bills, Dan.
Because you're in the
my
middle of a
God.
park full of kids. It's like, Paul, time to come. I'm working here.
That sounds wrong on multiple levels. I think
Actually,
even Jimmy Savile got done for less.
Oops.
Do you know what, boy, right? This is the flabbergasting part about Pokemon Go, right? And everybody thinks it's a kid's game because naturally it's developed over the years. But me and you played it as a kid. So there's a generation of us.
Oh, we did, yeah. I played the cards.
Yeah,
I never went as far as the Game Boy stuff. Because
Oh, never?
No, I never played the Game Boy stuff. It was one of those things that never got round to, possibly. It's like, I don't think I really asked for it for my birthday or any Christmases or anything.
That's shocking knowing you play Resident Evil. And I know this is going to be such a U-turn here. But the games had such a puzzle quest system in it. And the old school, what's it called? Resident Evil had like a sort of like a puzzle quest going through it to, it's not like your simple straight walk down and kill people. You have to adjust yourself through a maze.
Yes.
Well, Pokemon's not a million miles away from that element of that you have to set yourself through mazes to get to this, to get to that, to get to the next city, to get to that. And you have to battle in between it. It's just you're not using knives or thing, you're using Pokemon. So I'm quite shocked, because the old school one definitely feels most probably very close to maybe a Resident Evil old school game. Just obviously a very kid friendly.
Comparing Pokemon to Resident Evil, that's quite interesting. I don't know. Resident Evil was more survivor horror. It had puzzles in it, but it was more reserving your ammo. Don't go shooting gung ho, otherwise you'll run out and you won't be able to go any further.
Yeah, but that's the same with Pokemon when you go through it. Like if you ran out of Pokeballs, you couldn't get Pokemon. If you ran out of potions, a Pokemon would die. If you lasted your full 6 in a battle, you'd have to go back nearly all the way back to the last Pokemon Center you went to. What could have been nearly an hour's progress. So there is elements that really have and that may as well. That's the older school game to the older school Resident Evil game. The modern day era, they're both a million miles away from each other.
Oh yeah.
The old school games most probably do have harmonies between each other of the aspects of them two, being quite close to each other. So it does shock me how much you've loved it and noticed because you did play it back in the day, didn't you? You said freaking played Resident Evil.
Oh, damn right.
Yeah. That's why you played it only recently.
One of my first games. No, it wasn't my first game on PlayStation. It was. I remember playing Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation for the first time. Fell in love with it, and yeah, pretty much. What was my first game on PlayStation? Crash Bandicoot, Tomb Raider.
I know what mine is.
Oh, I know some good times back then.
Do you know
Spyro the Dragon? Spyro the Dragon.
That's what I was just to say. That was my first game I played on PlayStation.
Oh damn! I remember Christmas Day having that. I remember by the end of the night I had a stinking headache, and all I could do was the sound it makes when you pick up gems. So.
Yeah. To be honest, I played Spyro the Dragon on my PlayStation on a black and white TV.
Fair play.
Yeah, freaking
times are hard, Paul. Times are hard.
Dude, back in the day, man, that was like the legit you only had one color TV in your house. Like, I mean, it was the main setup. Like, mine. I remember my parents watching the movies. I ended up lobbing onto like a black and white TV. And then over a period of time, then I had a coloured. Was shockingly enough, like the standard of like TVs I run from as a child to where I am now. Like I have a very high caliber TV as my main setup. I have like a 42 freaking as my gaming setup. I got TVs around my house in that nutshell. I got over the years about gaming TVs that really just knock it out of the park. And it's shocking, like when I go back to like my original first console as my console, like. That was the PlayStation 1, and like I was fucking playing on a black and white TV, man. It's just.
I remember I had a TV. My TV was one of those ones that it's got little flick switches on it to change the channel, and it had a little like a nozzle type thingy, one for volume and one for tuning. Yeah. And God, I missed that TV. It was a good TV. That was.
Do you ever remember the point? Do you ever remember the point of the small little handheld TVs?
Oh, those are crap, weren't they?
Oh, dude, no. They were crap compared to one thing, right? It was always the point, was literally if you got told, like, I remember getting to, like, every time I was naughty, freaking, like, back as a child, freaking, like, get upstairs, freaking go to bedroom, and I, like, go to, like, as soon as I know everything had settled down, freaking, and, like, I'm being upstairs for, like, 10 minutes or so now, go to the bottom of my bed, found out where my TV is, handheld TV out, watching TV in bed, I was like, I've beaten the system.
That's one thing I never had was a handheld TV.
Oh, my grandparents bought one for me for the full, my two sisters and myself for Christmas 1 year, and literally to me that was like, my God, freaking, like I've just broken that was like me back in the day. I've just broken the internet. Literally, like the internet wasn't even a thing back then. Like my head just was all Freaking, I can watch so much scrap. Freaking.
All 4 channels with a lovely fuzz.
Oh, dude. No, there was really good picture on it too. That was the weird part to it. Like, they were really top quality. The problem is the screen was most probably smaller than a Game Boy screen.
About the size of your belly button.
Yeah, it wasn't a million miles away.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And,
I don't know why I compared it to a belly button, but, it was very small.
And the thing about it, like, the aerial used to come up, it was literally like a massive reach. You went.
The aerial will come out and touch the Hubble telescope, but the screen was jack shit.
Oh, I still love it. Freaking absolutely love them kind of presents. Freaking as a child, the Game Boy. Oh, the old school Game Boy.
I love
you
the
can't
Game Boy.
beat that Game Boy.
Oh, that's good. That was.
Freaking.
I remember having James Bond on the Game Boy. That was a good game. That was.
Oh, do you know the one I used to have? It was Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
That Kirby's Adventures and Super Mario, and I had Pokemon. Freaking
I had
Super
Mario. I had Super Mario 2. What else did I have? I had James Bond. A couple of other games too.
Tetris is always one that I
Oh,
had.
Tetris. I had a Tetris. I had this game, kind of bouncy game, where you got like a kind of bat and you. Anyway, it was a very boring game, but it was a very addictive game.
You know what? It's a bat. Bat's a ball. Isn't it called ping?
Ping. Could be. So it was like Pong, but I don't know. Yeah. Actually, I got my Game Boy
Pong.
in my cupboard over here. Actually, I should dig it out sometime.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got my Game Boy.
Oh,
over here
Dan.
somewhere. Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Still got it.
That is.
Tell you what,
such
2
a cool
seconds.
thing.
I'm going to go and get it quickly. It's just literally over here. I'll be right back. You keep the audience entertained. 2 seconds.
Now, as Dan is literally doing this, guys, if you want to get a hold of us, any of the podcasts that we have right now, you can get us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and pretty much all Android podcasts just by searching the DPCast. God, you could tell I was a little rusty freaking saying that. I've done that in a little bit of a while. But if you want to get a hold of us on all platforms at the moment, you can get us on Facebook and on Twitter by just searching the DPcasters. That's CASTERS. Now, we do have YouTube. All our stuff we have on YouTube as well, and that is just searching the DPcast as well on that. And we've got all our goodness and a couple of awesome videos coming forth for you on that too. But it looks like Dan.
Yeah, I've
That's
dug up my old Game Boy. I had James Bond. The game I was talking about, that bit like Pong, is called Alleyway.
Okay.
We've got Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, and how can I forget about this one? Star Wars.
You had Star Wars.
That's Star Wars there. Check it out,
Wow,
baby.
what-
Star Wars.
What the hell?
I remember it being
You
very
do realize
hard.
that? You do realize these games must be worth a nice little mint right now.
Really?
Like you're holding a Star Wars Game Boy cartridge.
Yeah, I am indeed.
Like that's in decent condition too.
It doesn't have a case. Actually, I got a case for it here, actually. So, yeah.
God damn, Dan, that's legit. Like I've never seen that one.
No? Oh, I remember it being very
I
difficult.
didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, oh, it might not work, actually. I don't know. Been out of his case for it.
No, they should.
I really
Every
didn't
single
have
one
that
of them
many
should
games.
work.
Oh, hang on. I got a Game Boy camera, too.
Fuck off! Oh my god, that is old school.
Yeah, man. I never had the
you
printer,
have-
though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, now, did you have the printer?
No, I never had the printer. My next door neighbour had the printer, and I was very jelly. So, but yeah.
So in it, you had the camera,
Yeah.
and that is it.
I had the camera, and that was it.
So pretty much you were taking selfies before selfies were a thing.
That's a good point, actually. Look at that. Yeah, you could do that and turn the little camera around. You know, stuff like that. Good fun.
Sweet.
Hmm?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Freaking,
good
honest
times,
God,
good
guys,
times.
right? If you can't see Dan at the moment, he's at the moment posing in front of his freaking, the old school Game Boy.
Tell you what, I'll take
Camera.
a selfie of me taking a selfie with a Game Boy camera. I'll put it on Twitter. And people can see what magic
When
is
we
going on
upload
in
this,
this
when we
podcast
upload this
today.
podcast, we'll place it up.
Yeah. Oh, man, this feels like the future holding my Samsung S7 while holding a Game Boy camera.
Now, Dan, you should put the cartridge inside. Like, you should put it inside the Game Boy.
Sorry, Paul. I'll do this proper.
Come on now, do it properly now, Dan.
Yeah,
Now,
oh, yeah.
anybody who's actually listening to this is Dan now actually taking a selfie with his Game Boy and taking a selfie with his his S7 Edge. No, his S7, sorry. He didn't go for the Edge. He was a pussy.
No, I didn't like the edge. I'm afraid of heights. And one more for luck. No, proper smile. There we go. Cool. Right, I'll put them on
Sweet
Twitter after the
Jesus.
podcast now. And people can see the magic of what's going on here.
No, place it up when we upload it. When we
Yeah.
upload it, we place it up and make more
Yeah.
sense. Freaking otherwise, our Twitter fans are just going to start thinking, what the fuck you uploading?
Yeah. Oh, I might actually get some batteries for this and see if it still works.
Oh, Dan, that's legit, man. Genuine, that is old school stuff you're holding there. Oh,
Yeah,
I'd love
it's
to
been
find my
sitting in
Game
my
Boy.
cupboard for years. It's just every time I move, I got my bedside cabinet. It's got a little cupboard in it, and it's like every
Yeah.
time I've moved, it's just I've never taken anything out of it. I've just moved it whole without taking anything out, and it's like it's just been sitting in there. So
Wow, that is awesome.
yeah,
Well-
good fun. You've been up to anything else?
To be honest, dude, I really haven't, as far as I can recollect. You know what I mean? It's been quite, I wouldn't say quite a boring couple of weeks. I've just enjoyed being around because obviously the kids are off at the moment, so my little ones have been around. So it's actually been quite nice to spend some time with her, freaking just being around the family a little more and just not having to worry to do a podcast for that week. So it was actually one of the kind of things where I could just go out, freaking mong out with a load of people who have got Pokemon Go. I think that's what I was getting round to when I escalated off just now with the Pokemon game, is that
Oh yes.
there's not many people right now, Dan, who, like, do you know when we go round, you'd expect us to be round like a fuck ton of kids. Eh?
Yes.
It would kind of make sense. We really ain't. It's a very adult-based group we're roaming around with. I mean, I think the youngest there is about 24.
Oh.
So
Fair
freaking,
enough.
I think one or two of those little kids that roam around with us, like one or two, but we know the mother. Like, the mother's the one who's now started her account as well. Like, and it's one of the kind of things where she's like, oh, they need this. And, like, the rest of us are in our 30s. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a big gang of us. I mean, there's people who come out to us who are in their 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And they've got a decent account. And I'm like, damn, man, freaking, like, we've actually got our own WhatsApp group and everything. Like, it's legit. So, as I said, like, Pokemon Go, to what people analogy it as, because they think it's a kid's game, is only because the interpretation that we played it as a kid. Now, the same time as well is that as kids have grown up now, we're all near our late 20s to early 30s. And this is where we are right now as a generation, like, where people have gone through, played all the games, done all the, gone through all that aspects, and we've got a massive generation playing Pokemon Go. Like, I can't stop playing the PlayStation game. Like, the game died a little bit and then just came up into another caliber.
Yeah.
And any of our people who are listening to this, any of my Pokemon crew that roam around to me, freaking, you guys know as much as I do, freaking, like, this game is addictive on another level. Like, it's the only one that's actually made me go outside and actually walk, like, and go, sunlight. Freaking.
Yeah, that was one aspect that I couldn't get around, was having to get off my ass and walk around and catch Pokemon. It was like, I try and catch where I could from my living room. And then
Yeah, you were a lazy bastard, wasn't it? That was so funny.
Yeah.
Like, do you know the best about Twitter, Dan? Is literally how I've literally gone from playing Xbox inside,
Yeah.
and I've gone outside, but play another game on my phone.
Maybe
I
sometime I'll
can't
have to
do
try it
anything.
out. I'll have to try it out, possibly. We'll see.
Dan, I'd love for you to come round, because naturally there's a lot of people who come round with us who love our show and really would like to probably put a face to the Dan's name, not just Paul's. Freaking,
The
so
bloody dopey sod that you have as your co-host.
literally come round and do a live podcast as we Pokemon Go. Freaking,
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
We could
Trying to
actually
teach
do
Dan
that.
how to play Pokemon Go. That'd be entertaining
Freaking-
in itself.
you do realize that is an actual thing we could do.
Well, there's a point, actually.
Do you know how?
Oh.
Headsets, record into our phones, literally
Yeah.
go around, use a different device for Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And we could, as I said, we don't have to use the Skype pen for the element of it. We can just basically knock it out. Freaking, that sounds like a hell of a plan.
That sounds like a plan, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Think as well,
we'll give it a go.
Me and Dan have got a load of projects coming up as well. We've got a load of little ones where we want to give you... We just don't want to give you the normal DPcast experience. We want to give you a more expansive one. You know, we want
Platinum
to give you...
edition.
Yeah, you know, like, we love how you guys have literally given us, like, over 800 plays in the last 26 episodes. Well, 26 episodes is this one today. And... I can't thank you guys enough for them plays. Like, me and Dan were nobody 25 episodes ago. We were just Dan and Paul that worked in Travelodge. This time now, with 800 plays forth, you know, with people who listen to us, like Moomin, who's a huge fan of ours, but even comes on our show. Like, I love how we've got our own fans on our show now. And, like, we got Steph and Ben, who are huge listeners, who listen with the family, listen on their own. you don't realize how much that really means a lot to me and Dan. You know, when we get people like that coming back to us going, "Hey, we need your show back, please." Like, I'm missing your guys' voices in live time. Like, I'm like,
I thought it was very
guys,
sweet when you told me that. Like, I didn't
innit?
realize we had that. I thought people listened, and had fun and stuff like that. But take it or leave it type thing. But it was nice to hear that.
It really was. I'm not gonna lie. It was very heartfelt, and I'm glad to be back. Me and Dan were buzzing last night when we were talking about it. Literally, like, right later on, six-ish. Now we're gonna go back, do a podcast, bang, knocking out like, and here we are. Like, I'm fucking buzzing.
Yeah.
Anywho's, I say we get into the next segment, Dan.
Yeah.
I hope to God you've got Old Man Hypothetical, haven't you?
Did you get the memo, Paul?
What do you mean? Have I got the memo?
The facts that came through yesterday, I think it was.
God damn it! What's happened with him this time?
Well, he's off on holidays. He's using one of his holiday days.
Jesus, we took 2 weeks holidays. Couldn't he have taken in between this bracket?
I don't know. He spent
Sweet
the first
mother
week
of
annoying us. He just wouldn't leave us alone, would he? Remember that? He was just lurking in the background all the time, just judging us. Giving life tips. Yeah, he's gone on holiday. He's gone fishing.
He's gone fishing.
Yeah.
Guys, well, it doesn't look like this week then. We got you a hypothetical question. So, we better just carry on with the show, Dan, I state. And I say we get into one of our newer segments that Dan has got for you. And we have created this awesome new part called...
The if statement.
So, Dan,
It's
it's the if statement. And the if statement is going to be something different to what we have for you. We have Film Snob reviews, we have spoiler cast, and this one we have for you the if statement. Now, the if statement is going to be exactly this. We place a topic even you guys could maybe lob to us on Twitter or Facebook, just at the DPCast, as capital D, capital P, capital C, ASTERS. We lob in the segment. Today's segment will be robots. Now, we will go into massive detail over that.
Yeah.
Why and how we're going to be doing this. But at the same time as well is that we will discuss different topics every 4 weeks on this segment.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan, I say we get straight into this by... Have you heard about the Facebook robot?
I have not. Tell me more.
Right. So this Facebook robot was only about 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3. Now, the one thing we all worry about, we've all watched the Terminator movies.
Mm-hmm.
We all think that one day the robots are going to start taking over.
Yes.
Well, this Facebook robot really started worrying people's heads. And I mean, not now your common norm people like, oh my God, it's talking weird. No, this worried people in the head offices and the frigging big wigs of Facebook and big tech companies that this robot that Facebook was using to like sort of filter crap was starting to talk its own language.
Ooh, that's
Like,
weird.
That is weird, isn't it?
That's one thing I never actually thought of. Like in the films and stuff, you think, oh, they speak English. You never thought, well, my voice went funny then. Never thought that the computers would actually start speaking their own language. It makes more sense, because why would they want to speak English? They're far more intelligent than us if they developed enough AI. So,
well, supposedly at one stage they thought it was just being weird. It was literally just acting. It was just strange anomaly, and then it started talking in complete sentences in gobbledygook. What was making its own sentence, like just talking to something. Like nobody knows what he was talking to. It just started talking in a different language.
Yeah.
Like, how weird is that? Like, does that mean we're inevitably closer down the road to this, the cybernetic organisms?
Some sort of self-aware computer. That's actually quite scary when it comes to that.
Yeah, but think about it, Dan. We're really close on it, aren't we? Like, look at Japan.
Yeah, well,
like,
they've
Japan
been
is the one.
researching it for years, and now that the computer power to actually do it is there and working it out, it sounds like they are doing a lot of work towards it and making progress lately. So
yeah, but the thing is about it, they're making progress in the point of actually building these juggernauts of robots and making them look cool. And they can walk, talk, do all that kind of stuff. But they're talking in our language. The weird part about this this robot. This was an Ethernet, like in the big world of the internet. I don't think it was a physical robot. I think it was just a robot built into like a software program.
Yeah. I think you got
What
like
makes it-
fake AI, like like stuff like Siri and
Yeah.
Google and stuff like that. But the kind of AI that's a little bit terrifying is the kind that once it breaks away from the tether we have with it, it's like where we have to keep programming it to update its software and stuff. The one that goes away and is able to do its own thing, think for itself, is self-aware. That's the kind of thing you want to be careful with because
Yeah.
it can think millions of times faster than we can. And, yeah.
Well, put it this way then, right? How would you... Okay, there's two aspects to it then, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be more afraid then of a Android-based person, like an actual, like a physical robot that could walk, talk, and then started growing feelings like Johnny Five, the movie, like Chappie, the movie, like that kind of organism, or that he is just developing his own mental awareness? Or,
As long as I can keep him away from the internet, I'd be happy to talk to the bloke. But,
well, the things about it, they're always like counterlinked, but at the same time as well as like he isn't so much like Jeeves, for argument's sake, from Iron Man, like where you've got an
Jarvis, you
internal.
mean. Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis, sorry.
Get
yeah,
it right.
fucking-
Come on, get it right.
Well, like that organism that literally has its own brain in the internet, like that's really what the Facebook robot was. Like, what do you find more dangerous? Something that's physically present or something physically hidden behind closed doors, but could really cause more mayhem in my eyes?
Physically hidden behind closed doors because it could get anywhere on the internet. The internet is... Nobody owns the internet. It's not in one singular place, like one box in the middle of the desert. It's everywhere. It's in servers, everything and everywhere. It can get anywhere. The only thing stopping these things from getting anywhere is firewalls and stuff like that. If
Yeah,
a
but
robot
would you do
was
that?
intelligent enough to think, oh, that's just, that's easy to me because I'm super intelligent. It'll just be like,
Yeah.
new codes. Woohoo, let's go in. Launch,
Yep.
done. We're done for.
Well, yeah, kind of. Like, and to be honest, it does scare me with stuff like the Facebook one where we have built-in robots that we all use on a manual base. Like, it's the stuff that asks you to, search for certain stuff. Like, if you were searching for somebody's name on Facebook, that's a robot built into their computer system to go, right, I will help you do this.
Yeah.
It's an organism that's doing that inside it. And you're sort of going, right, where is the extent now of somebody knowing... Like, you think about Facebook now, like, isn't there like 3.6 billion people on Facebook or something on that lines? It's
Something
a
ridiculous,
ridiculous figure, innit?
Yeah.
Now, you think how many names, numbers, date of birth, addresses that this robot had for his vocabulary at one point when he was talking a different language. That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm thinking now, what would be its purpose? It must have a purpose. It can't be dangerous unless it has a purpose. What does it want? What does it want to do? Like, what would the Facebook robot want to do? What was it for?
Well, the thing's about, I'm not 100% sure
If it gets
what it was
mischievous,
actually...
it starts liking Donald Trump quotes. It's like, hee.
I'd love to know, because I'd love to do a deeper dive into this, into that story, because there's not much, as far as I can recollect, being brought up beyond it. I just know that it started talking some language. Like, to me now, I would actually love to know what language was it trying to talk. Like, is there a way of transcripting what he was trying to state to something? Because if he's talking, making his own language, means he was talking to somebody.
Or if it's a little bit like, that's basically how we started talking English as human beings. Probably started off as grunts and,
Maybe.
it's like sign language types of put the light on, but if it's something like that, but in a super intelligent way. Because if you think about it, these
Maybe.
computers can think stupidly. Think of a calculator. It's got billions of calculations a second or whatever. It's stupid. I don't know. But think about it. If it was something like that, it started working itself out for itself.
Yeah.
And then
What if it was the way like Arrival? Do you remember like the film Arrival where they had that the complicated way they were talking to each other?
Oh, that was Arrival. I'm thinking of Passengers then. It's like, what are you doing on?
Yeah.
Arrival. Yeah. Well, like symbols and stuff like that. But that was different. That was
Literally.
through time and.
Yeah, but the same as well is that you don't know what this robot Motropi has in motion. Like this, he could have been using. Like I haven't actually seen the what he's placed in to make his own language up. I haven't got a clue what that is. It could be a numerics of numbers, numerics of shapes. It could be a mixture of both. It could be lettering that no word has ever been constructed in that manner. You like
That's a good point.
so like
because thinking of Arrival, their language was not linear. Like we place a sentence. Like I've just said, this is a sentence. Their language didn't do it. It went through time and everything. It went through like a whole conversation in one symbol of some sort.
yeah.
For example. So yeah, it's a good point. What would they be talking about?
Yeah,
I don't like
it-
it. What are they talking about?
Yeah.
Are they talking about me? I'm getting a bit paranoid here. It's like he's like, look at that guy's hair. He sucks. It was Facebook. It's like
It was Facebook, and the things about it, Facebook has a lot of information to hand. Like a lot of people will probably just drape this one off as, they've knocked off. Like, is something on the internet physically ever knocked off? Like, everything really is still active in time. Like, really, didn't the happening that when hackers went in and basically grabbed all them pictures? These were pictures they did like yesterday and gone, oh my god, look at me naked. Oh my god, I look so good. Freaking no, these were pictures from like 7, 8 years back from when they were doing these things. They
Yeah, I
were
heard
just
about that, 'cause,
thought they were deleted, but they were in the big ether. You know, they were in the SoundCloud. Not
it's
SoundCloud,
like when
sorry,
you wipe your
the-
hard drive. Your files are still there until you fill up your hard drive again and it wipes over it again. It's like the only thing it's doing when you delete something on your computer is it's giving your computer permission to overwrite that when the time comes.
Yeah.
It's not actually deleting it.
No, it's putting it back into another storage, into another. That's how literally when, for argument's sake, I'm going to use quite a grim part here, but it works for the segment. Is that like people who do paedophilia, right? Do you know, like when they look for kids, right?
Yeah.
Right? They would take pictures of kids. What is disturbing? Now, naturally, when they get caught, or knowing they're going to get caught, they would delete all this stuff.
Yes.
Now, when they go to the police, then the police don't. They sort of look through and go, "All right, there's no." They don't do that. They go through the full entire, the everything that's inside it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's that little memory bank at the very bottom where because every great criminal has, I'm going away with this. I deleted everything, freaking, and then out of nowhere, it's the backup to the backup to the backup that literally has everything.
Yeah, it's
and
the
that's
ghost
how
files.
It's, and
basically, like I said, it's like when you delete something, it gives your hard drive, it tells your hard drive, okay, when the time comes, delete this. But unless you really fill up your hard drive all over again, it's not going to get rid of it until that. And I think even then there might be some little clusters of data left behind. So it depends on how you do it. But you can get programs to completely wipe those things. So
yeah, but you'd have to is that ever completely wiping it?
don't know. Depends what it's doing.
That's the thing is like, how much is something ever completely wiping something on the internet?
Oh, on the internet, that's different. If it's on your actual computer, then there's ways and roundabouts. But
No,
internet,
but that's what I mean,
you
it's
don't know
like-
where it's going, do you? It's like you're
but the
talking
thing's
about
about, like-
being stored on servers and stuff like that, massive hard
Yeah.
drives and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's going to be somebody. It's going to be somewhere. Like these days, like back in the day, if you were talking about this, yeah, your hard drive would have been the massive factor. But you look at today's market, like everything is counterlinked to the internet. Like everything has a circuitry to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. It's all counterlinked. Like I've always stated is that if the internet went down tomorrow, it's shocking how much you really started, because like somebody go, the internet goes down tomorrow, I'll still get this and I'll still do that because
You
I
see,
don't live a
like
life with the internet.
How all these companies, they're coming up with the cloud and stuff like that. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
cloud is a good idea. Like we use Dropbox, for example.
Yeah.
That's a kind of cloud. And, but all these computer people, they're asking us to rely on these cloud thingies.
Yeah,
So-
and it doesn't work.
Not at the moment, because I'm not using my phone. That's the minimum thing. But if the internet did ever go down, if your power went out,
Yeah,
there's no internet, basically.
yeah,
And so I've stored everything on the cloud. Now the world is wiped out of electricity.
yeah,
What do? Libraries are suffering because they're all going digital.
yeah,
Books and
Yeah, it's
stuff,
true.
they're all going digital. It's like they're
Yeah.
going to get to a point. If for example, the power did go out in the world,
yeah.
we'd have nothing. We'd be in the
Not a
storage because
sausage.
we've relied so much on computers and the internet and stuff like that we kind of fucked ourselves over.
I think people have got to start realising that nutshell that you just described is that, because so many people think, oh, but I'll still get paid and we can have food. Like, okay, let's get realistic here now, guys, right? If
Yep,
you
getting
work
paid.
in
Getting paid.
yeah,
Paid is digital
can't-
now. If you don't get
yeah,
paid,
paid is all digital. Yeah, like where do you think your money gets to your bank? It all gets done from your computer, getting sent to the internet to the higher organization of your company, and that company then lobs it straight down into your banks. Like everything has a counter link to the internet these days, and it's such a juggernaut with us around this world. It'll only be our downfall in the period of time for us to be in a blackout scenario. Now, let's get something straight here as well. Do you know how little it takes to knock out our internet? It only needs a solar flare. That doesn't even need to strike us on Earth. It just needs to be effective beyond our atmosphere that will cause such a magnetic field around our Earth. It could knock out the internet for weeks to even years.
Whoa.
Right?
Have you ever watched this program that was on Channel 4? It was like a what if kind of documentary. Something that's very interesting for us. It was called Blackout. Is it Channel 4?
I think I heard about it, but I never watched it.
Oh, it was really good. It was quite scary too. It's like what would happen if the UK power went out for a week.
Wow.
Think about it's amazing. It's like what first day not so bad. Second day gets a bit okay. It's getting a bit uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is by the end of the week, people were in such shit. It's like people were robbing people because there's no water, heating, stuff like that, no internet. Fuel went out because pumps are controlled by fuel.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It is amazing. It's like, Jesus Christ, we'd be in the shitter if the power went out for a week. It's like, it's quite terrifying.
It really is, Dan, because naturally, like, we have this, we've lived our lives on this weird, like, think of it, even our cars are now electric in most cases.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you went to certain places, certain cities, they have a dominance of electric cars. They become obsolete. Petrol cars over the period of time will become obsolete. The only thing that you would actually have available would be a push bike.
Oh, that's true.
Freaking,
You're
like,
cooking an egg with
genuinely,
a push bike.
Like a scooter, a push bike, any of these things have literally become like these are the only things to get on transport. As nuts as our states, like knowing like push bike, we'd go back to the days of the push bike, like
going back to horse and
pushing
cart.
our society. Well, horse and cart, yeah, that's another one. But like you
That'd be
take
funny.
it back. Yeah, but you think of it, Dan, right? Take us
I think
back
people
to
would drive the
that
same with
calendar.
horse and carts they do now. They don't indicate, cut each other off.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's got 12 horsepower. He thinks he's the bee's knees.
Well, he's got 12 horses.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this jackass. Thinks he's the fucking king of the road. Got 12 horses in front of his cart.
And do you know somehow or another, even if we went back that far, some dickhead would literally shove on the back of it fucking 3 twin exhausts, freaking and go, pom, 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 pom.
Almost
Going
like
down the street.
you know, he's got his friends in the back fucking blowing through the exhaust pipe. That makes it sound like a kazoo.
Or as we like to call him, die twin turbo.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Or you can make all his horses neigh at the same time to make it sound like neigh. It's like, oh, who's this? You know the
Yeah, but the
assholes
best-
you hear in the middle of the night driving with their fucking cannon exhausts.
Yeah.
You know, when they've got a fucking Fiat Punto or something.
So true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Practically dragging across the road. You know, it's so big.
It'd be like one of them horses, just one horse, but it's sounding sound like 12, just because he's got like a tape recorder on the side of it. Like, again, like the guy, right?
Yeah.
We would go so far back in the development of even music that we wouldn't even have a tape, even a tape deck wouldn't. You couldn't even have power for that. Batteries would be obsolete.
Or just hook it up to a bike. You know,
Do you know what,
and
guys?
you get bloody what's his name, Robbie Williams. You know, you know his voice might be speeding up and slowing down all the time because I'm getting tired, and then I get a burst of energy. So it's like, let me entertain you.
You know what?
Don't know why I
I'd
chose
much
Robbie
rather-
Williams.
Yeah, me too. Again, I was starting to wonder what you did there. But the one place I'd much rather be going is Sean's. Now, it's not because Sean's a part of the Navy. Sean has got some weird tech that would blow anybody's mind to hold apart. And do you know he bought a day back? He bought himself a solar panel.
Did he?
Yeah, like a physical solar panel that he could roam around with.
Cool.
Like, and this solar panel, he said like he could charge his phone and everything from it. Has like a built-in battery bank to it.
Yeah.
Now, that to me is the only thing that would prevent us from a blackout of sorts if we all went solar.
That's true. It's amazing.
Solar will.
If we, I think I saw a picture or something. The facts on this might be a bit skeptical, but if you filled up one block from the Earth, the view of the Earth from space.
Yeah.
If you filled one little tiny block of the desert in Africa full of
Yeah.
solar panels, that would be enough to
Yeah.
power the Earth more than enough. But I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, but not many people want to go for it.
Yeah, do you know why?
Not saying we
It's
should
'cause
fill
of
up a
the
desert full of solar panels, but if everyone got solar panels and stuff like that and did that, we'd have plenty of free energy. But,
Yeah, but
obviously the
do you-
oil
do you know-
people don't want that to happen.
No, neither did the electric companies, because naturally we would pay, we wouldn't pay for electric.
Nope.
If you think about it.
The rich pigs won't be making any money, and that doesn't make them happy, so they don't allow it to happen. So
Yeah, dude, it's the way the world rolls. It's all built on money associated.
money
with
makes the world go round.
going on a little off subject here, but genuinely, like in my case, I think cancer has the exact same element to it. You know, there's treatments out there for on these people, and I feel sorry for the people then who get pulled into this radiation stuff that they put through, and they go through pain, tremendous amount of pain, for money. Genuinely, it's the doctors making a shit ton of money off it.
Yeah.
And it's sickening because there is people out there, scientists and all that have been proven, and it's just big wigs don't want to prove it otherwise,
Yeah.
is that they've found a cure for cancer. But the problem is, it's cheaper than a paracetamol.
Well.
And in that case, it's not money, see, Dan? It's not money in the back pocket. The doctor's not making money. There's parts of the government ain't making money from it. It's a sickening circle. It really is. But you're right.
It's like the production of medication and stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably cheap as chips to make this stuff.
Yeah.
But because it's the requirement for them is so high and the demand for them is so high, they just thought, oh, it's like that guy who asshole. He's got the kind of medication for AIDS or something. I can't remember the exact thing what it was, but he tripled the price for the thing. So and so people who have AIDS have got got to fork out that much more for it, and he's the one that's
disgusting.
profiting from it all. And,
It's disgusting how much the big wigs in this world. Now, coming full circle on this, we are going to go back a little bit here. And Dan,
yes, let's get back to robots.
yeah, right. With the point of the robots, right? Would you? Right. Okay. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical since we didn't have one. Okay.
Don't let him find out.
Right.
He doesn't have to find out.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't have to find out.
We'll whisper it down the mic. Okay. But what if?
Yeah.
Right. The Facebook robot, right?
Yeah.
We've started learning he was doing his own language.
Yeah.
But what if this Facebook robot could give us the future that we all want it to be? Like, and I mean now, right? Like, do you know when we think of the future, we're thinking of flying cars, we're thinking of this, we're thinking of that, we're thinking of the other. You know, like the proper floating city jobs, right? Right? Exactly, right? Proper Jetsons.
Yeah.
Now, what if the robot could do that for you? But you don't know it yet, but you've got to take a risk on it. Do you take that risk and take the option of going, right, this robot could give us our inevitable future and solve so much problems, harvests, and etc., as much as it's only a program that is run in its own language, it has so much potential use in the running forth that it helps give us different aids, different to life. Like it finds a different thing for petrol. It finds a different thing for this, and this. You know, the list goes on. You know, you understand where I'm going. Do you still take that risk?
It's a hell of a leap of faith, though, isn't it?
Oh hell yeah!
Because
I mean, you're literally.
if you think about it, all
all
these robots would be this super intelligent artificial intelligence would be. What point does it become that it turns us into slaves to do its bidding?
True.
It's
But
like
at the same time as
it's
well,
doing all
our-
these things
our-
to improve the world, but
Yeah.
it's improving it for itself and its future kind. But we're the ones that's doing the stuff that robots can't do, like the manual labor and stuff like that.
But Dan, aren't we already that through the phone companies that give us out our phones?
What do you mean?
Like, aren't we already slaves to our own technology? Like, you think about it now, right?
I
As
could
much
put
as
my
much as
phone down
we've
the toilet tomorrow and just get myself a shitty little Nokia.
yeah, but the same time as well is done. So you can try and get a Nokia that works in this modern day society.
Well, just use phone calls and text, isn't it?
Come on, and that's how rudimental.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, like, how many people use house phones these days?
Not many. If my house phone rings, I don't answer it because it's probably a sales call.
Dude, my house phone has been knocked off since I've had it.
Is that
Like,
what that
genuinely, like-
dusty pile of crap in the corner is?
Literally right next to my game console, I got the internet working like it's no man's business, and the phone just like freaking flat.
I don't know,
like,
man. I didn't brace this thing. I get one of those old ones, you know, the one with the horn as the earpiece, and then you speak into the actual phone. You know, and you got to wind it up and all that. And
Yeah.
it's like, hello, can I have Klondike 342, please? Thank you.
But
Hello, Margaret. Yes, are you coming over for supper? Hello. Doesn't work.
But think of all them numbers that you got. Like, there's so much stuff that life has made it easier for us. But are we just really? Are we zombifying into our own technology?
Oh yeah. Well, look at the people who use Facebook most of the time. The ones that put their entire lives on Facebook.
Oh fuck
No, the people get depressed. It's like,
yeah, it's true.
yeah.
No, so, Dan, you're on the nail. It's exactly that. It's like people put so much life onto Facebook. You're expecting it to bitch slap you back. Like, if you told somebody your full entire life, I'd expect somebody to go, Paul, goddamn bitch, poof, and it's like, you know,
I'm
give you
a
that
victim to it too. You spend too much time on Facebook, you start feeling your soul being sucked
Yep.
out of you. It's like when you're bored and you're just thinking, oh, what's people up to then?
Yeah.
It's
agree.
addictive. Very
Yeah.
addictive, scrolling through that feed and just seeing what people are up to, what posts there are and stuff. And people spend a hell of a lot of time on there. You know, it's like they
Oh,
can't
God,
go
yeah.
5 minutes without checking to see what's been going on and stuff. And then when they put something on, they're obsessed with seeing how people are reacting to what they put up there. It's
Yeah,
like-
and that's the thing. I think the best way to show this now, right, is something I haven't actually had a chat with you, Dan, about. I've been watching over YouTube the last couple of months. Now, any listeners who listen to us, you might be up to the current thing of this. On YouTube, there's a crew called the Sidemen. They play FIFA a little bit, but they play mostly games. Now, one of the Sidemen was called KSI, or also known as JJ. Now, out of nowhere, he leaves the Sidemen. Controversy. Friggin' flat out controversy. And he started calling one of his teammates, now that was part of the crew of the Sidemen, fat. That caused
Was he in
him
fucking school
now-
or what?
not well.
Is it
No, the guy's a bit chinky, you know, like a bit chubby, like. But at the same time as well is that it wasn't much, you know. It was basically a small dick. But I thought at the time, oh, you know, giggles, oh, they're just making a video.
Oh, it was just
you
a
know,
joke,
right?
was it? Oh, right, I see,
But,
I see.
well, well, this is where it gets even more interesting, right? At the time, oh, joke fach, you know, freaking he's fat, ha ha ha, and his name was Ethan, and also known as Bazinga. Now, then Bazinga lobs out, or Ethan lobs out a diss track, and I'm like, okay, this diss track's actually pretty cool. Freaking he has a go at KSI. Then out of nowhere, Road to Show. That is another part of the Sidemen. He brings out one and goes for gold now at KSI. And I mean literally calling his mother a whore, that his last girlfriend was a tramp, that he can't drive for shit. Calling his... there's so many, dude. Like, he just went to town on his family, calling them retards, and how would they have two knowing they were such dicks. And I thought, okay, this is heavy now. This is proper heavy.
Yeah.
KSI comes back now with another diss track. And another diss track for Ethan and for Road to Shore.
So what's a disc track?
Then
again,
somebody...
sir?
A diss track is where you come back, like, for... Like, say now, like, you made a track going... You're so fat that you can hardly look back. You know, and he's proper singing to lyrics, but
Oh,
he's
like,
basically
kind of
having
like
a go at somebody's
8 Mile
personal
type thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, very
Yeah.
similar. Very
All right,
similar.
okay.
Now,
Okay.
think of that now in a diss track sense of that you've taken the piss out of somebody on YouTube, they're replying back to in a diss track, and dude, there's been about 7, 8 of them on this now, right?
Okay.
This to me is the society of where we are right now. Is where you mentioned about somebody going, "Oh my god, I want to see the next part." That's how I was only about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And genuinely, like, I'm a part of the problem because they got me. They
Yeah.
had me with their horseshit. Is where they had me with all these diss tracks where I'm like, oh, can't wait to see what they got next.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a part of the problem. I'm a part of the problem here. Literally, like, I'm giving these fuckers views
Yeah.
because I'm literally so excited to hear what they're going to call his mother next. Like, what fucking clapped face girlfriend is he fucking with this time, What coke did he freaking do down the freaking, the Memorial Hall, freaking, like, like, they were talking about, like, lines they done in Ibiza, and the tracks are ridiculously funny.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a part of the problem, a part of the millions upon millions have watched these videos too. Some of these videos hit over nearly 5 to nearly 7 million views a pop.
Yeah. How is it a
One of
problem,
them-
though? It's just entertainment, though, isn't it? It's like the same as watching TV.
It isn't. It's a problem because naturally they did it for views. Now, you'd think, as you just stated, it's for TV. But it shows a reputation of where Facebook is and YouTube is right now. That it didn't take much for somebody to do something so minimal. Because they're well known, as much as I would know the guy down the street if he started saying that he was this, and this.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see him? Oh, bloody hell, freaking, you said this, and this. Yet, vice versa on YouTube, because we know him so well, it's like having the guy down the road. It's literally like, oh my god, did you see what the sidemen did? Da-da-da-da-da. Freaking views, subs.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much it took that little of a percentage of a one person to go, you're fat, made nearly 15 to maybe 20 diss tracks over a complete period of different people using them, people having for views, people reacting to them, people doing this, and this.
Yeah.
Dude, it was mental. I mean, literally, they raised their population on YouTube by nearly 1 million plus. Maybe more in some cases.
Yeah.
Views in some of their videos hit nearly 8. Well, I know one or two of them hit 18 to nearly 20 mil at their top max. Some of them were averaging out to 7 million views. Like, that's ridiculous. But it just shows where we are as a society right now, where we will naturally have a reaction base.
It's amazing because it's like what would happen in the real world is kind of transferred over to. Oops, hit my mic there. Sorry. What would happen in the real world is kind of transferred over onto the internet and like digitally, social media, because it's like how a riot or a panicked crowd works.
Yep.
If you're in this crowd and they're going hell over leather, panicking or rioting something, there's a good chance that if you're in that crowd, you'll start joining in because everyone else is doing the same thing. You might think that you won't, but apparently it's like how the human mind works. You work as a pack kind of thing. If everyone starts panicking, everyone starts rioting or something like that, you'll join in to be part of the crowd kind of thing. Same things kind of happen on social media. Yeah. It's like there's some like villainizing smoking, for example. So one little idiot posts some stupid fact that's not really a fact, but everyone jumps on the bandwagon. It's all about jumping on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, vaping, it's got cancerous material in it, when in fact it doesn't really have much cancerous material. Yeah, everything's got fucking cancerous material in it these days, apparently.
Fucking so is bacon. I mean, goddamn, everything you eat has a somewhat. Do you know why? Because we all have that freaking that gene in us. We all theoretically got cancer in us. It's just one time in our lives. Doesn't matter if you live to the point of it or die before, or you live to the stage that you have it. Everybody has the cancer gene in us because it just needs to get activated at a point in your life stage where it could get activated as a child, an early adult, as a main adult, or even in your elder age. It has a stage of coming out to you. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going to eat food in some ways, smoke in some ways. It's just a factor of that which development of cancer that it'll occur in your body.
Oh, that was it. I remember now when the vape stuff came out. I thought, vaping gives you popcorn lung. Okay. Yeah, that was it. But everyone jumped on the bandwagon. And it was all over my Facebook feed, and I nearly put something up myself. But I thought, no, I'm not going to join it. I'm not going to feed this little fire. Bugger off. It was like this chemical inside vape juices that can create popcorn lung. Yeah. And people jumped on this little bandwagon. And then I thought, look, what is this chemical? I found out that in cigarettes, actual cigarettes, which give fair enough, it's very bad for you. I'm on that. But, it had a chart, a kind of bar chart. Yeah. The amount of this stuff in a cigarette was to the top of this chart. The amount that's in a vape thingy is little slither at the bottom of this chart. It's like So basically, and it said this is contained in most of your junk foods and stuff like that. So it's like it is probably more in your junk food or normal foods, except you're inhaling it, and that's what makes the popcorn lung. And there's a very low chance again unless you smoke it, like
That's ridiculous.
like ridiculously. But no, they try to villainize smoking and all that. It's like, well, I'm a believer in look, it's my life. As long as I'm not affecting anyone, I'm smoking outside. No one's getting affected by this. Bugger off and mind your business. It's like, but people want to jump on the.
It's another one on Facebook being a robot again. Like it's like on the god, it's a robot literally going.
And I tell you what, Paul, we're the bloody robots. We're the ones being programmed. By it's just like I know it sounds like conspiracy theory nut job.
No, but it is.
We're the ones being
really
programmed. But no, it's like everyone's. It's the whole bandwagon thing again. You get one person and then another one, and then another one, and everyone wants to be like each other, like sheep.
Put it this way. I like to look at it this way, right? If you lobbed a stone in a pond, the ripples have an effect. And it becomes bigger and bigger waves. It's exactly the same on Facebook. It only takes a robot to go, I need, like, popcorn. It gives you popcorn lungs from vaping. That's all you need to do. Stone in the middle of the water. Yeah. Ripple, 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 ripple. That's now millions of people now going, oh my god, I won't touch vaping because vaping literally will do this to me. Oh my god, are you sure that one I heard on Facebook? Like, on Facebook. This is the problem. Too much of society is listening to Facebook over problems and solutions and doing this and doing that. It's fucking abysmal. Like, our world is literally going to shit because people are fucking too fucking dumb and too fucking organised themselves around a fucking app that billions have organised their lives around. And it doesn't make no sense. It has no coordinated sense to go, I have this proof to state to this. If you were talking to a scientist tomorrow and he said to you, right, there is a high, heavy chance on it, I'd believe him because I'm talking to a physical human being. Yeah. I don't believe a fucking sausage I believe on Facebook because it's all horseshit. Yeah. Most occasions it's horseshit because it's called a stampede effect.
Exactly.
You cause, by lobbing the stone, you're causing an effect around. It's going to occur. And it's so many people hear it. There's so many nuggets out there that go, oh my god, did you see what's on Facebook? I'm never going to touch that. Yeah. It takes one person to go to the next person, to the next, to the next, to the next. It only takes some bloody nuggets to literally take that circle to another point. It's going to give the people who are a bit meh and go, I don't believe much of the Facebook. When you start hearing off a load of people, you start going, maybe there's a bit of truth behind this. Yeah. And then people just don't do enough president search to go, no, this is horseshit. It makes no sense. Yeah. Like you did, Dan. You checked it. You went, this fucking makes no other sense. What the God's name are you on about?
I'm a little bit like that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I like to do my own research over these things because I'm not one of these people who believe everything they see on the internet. It's like there's too many people out there who's like, oh, that's evidence right there. Joe Blogs down the road said that this gives you cancer. That means it must be true. It's too much of that going on. And unfortunately, it's not going to change.
Well done. Does come to an end of the show. But during our show, we had a fan get a hold of us.
Oh, really?
Now, Steph got a hold of us on my Facebook, and she has literally given us our next topical discussion for the if statement.
Oh.
And this is what she's given me as her thing to read over and have a quick look. As the Bible scholar says, Jesus smoked cannabis to speak with God.
Oh.
So, did Jesus do drugs back in the day?
Are we talking about this now?
No, we're going to be doing that in the next if statement.
Oh, that's an interesting one to talk about because I've got my own opinion. So,
right.
That's kind of sparked an opinion in my head, like a theory.
So the next if statement we're going to have, guys, we will talk about that. Steph, thank you for bringing that into us.
Thank you, Steph. That's a very good one. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that one. Just hope to God Dan doesn't smoke enough to it before we get on the podcast and start thinking Jesus is Batman again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, guys, if you want to get a hold of this juicy goodness that we pump out to you each and every week, you know where to get us from. That's SoundCloud, iTunes, and all Android podcast apps by just searching the DPCast. We love hearing you wanting us more and giving us that like, subscribes on YouTube just by searching the DPCast once again. But guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, 2 seconds, Paul. 2 seconds, Paul. Did anyone answer my question 2 weeks ago about bra sizes?
I'll check out Twitter.
Nobody.
Nobody.
I don't think anyone. That's how loved I am at doing openings for shows. Nobody decided to respond to that, did they? I'm hurt, listeners. I'm terribly hurt. I'm joking. I love you all, really.
Now, Dan.
Yeah.
The show hasn't finished yet, has it?
No, it has not. What's left?
Because we've got one segment left.
If you're laughing hard and your sides have split, then you must have heard one of Dan's jokes.
All right then.
Literally.
Okay, this week on Dan's Jokes, we've got what's brown and sits on a piano.
Go on.
Beethoven's Fifth Movement.
Go on.
Hey Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about the plane that crashed in the house down the road?
No.
Yeah, they left the landing light on. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Hey Paul.
Yeah.
Two fish in a tank.
Yeah.
And says to the other, how the hell do you drive this thing?
I love that joke.
If I'm honest,
Right.
I wrote down 3 jokes. I deleted the last one, so it's going to have to go on next week's.
Well, guys, that is actually being it for the show.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want to get a hold of a couple of our friends that come on here, that's Moomin. He normally plays live on Twitch. Just get a hold of him. He's, I think it's Snake 1082, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to get a hold of our good friend Will's Film Snob Reviews as well, he'll be on in the coming weeks. Go onto his Patreon. Give him a bit of some love there. He does some beautiful stuff through Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And really give him some love because he's an awesome guy and really could do with some love from our audience. Anyways, guys, Dan,
Yeah, baby.
it's been a great week again.
Yeah, I've missed this. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Me too. I
Tell
really
your
have.
friends. Tell your friends if you think, these guys are cool. I'm going to tell my friend all about this. Tell them. Go and tell them. Subscribe to it. It's great. It's on all your podcast downloading paraphernalia, and it's on YouTube as well if you don't do podcasts.
Yep, it is. So, Dan,
Yeah.
say goodbye.
So long, folks.
And that's another week from you guys. Ciao for now.